It's peak of fiction.
All right, folks, welcome to the Peak of Fiction podcast. And we have a very special episode for you because today is our grand end of the year ranking. We're going to talk about the best things that came out in 2025, maybe a couple of things that didn't come out in 2025. Well, we're looking forward to 2026. And also, we're going to see just where everything stands in our top 10 of the official Peak of Fiction ranking, and maybe see if something should come off the list, get on the list. We'll do a little reassessment. So hopefully you guys can stick around, and we're going to talk some Peak Fiction. And to do so, we have the best hosts in the world, Super O.
Yo, what's good, everyone? Hope your 2025s were really good. Now let's see what the peak of it was.
Gray the Samurai.
Thank you all for joining us on this journey this year. This was our first year as a pod, and we appreciate your support.
And the elusive Beto. He's returned to the shadows.
I'm sorry. Hi.
It's good. It's good to have you. It's good to have you.
As
we know, Beto's moniker he's a man of 1,000 movies. So he'll have some good movie recommendations this time around.
Yeah.
So before we get into our own personal top 5 things that came out this year, we got some honorable mentions, right? These are things that are good we want to talk about, but maybe didn't make top 5. So I'll start by doing something that's only not on the list because it's not finished yet, and that's Pluribus. I really enjoy Pluribus. I think it's a really great show. But when this particular episode is being recorded, it's a couple days before the finale. So I have faith in Vince Gilligan, but I can't, in good conscience, put a season of television on the list without the conclusion, because hypothetically it could fumble it in that last episode.
Yeah,
but Pluribus is pretty good. The premise is really good. The first episodes are very strong, and the kind of feeling of being surrounded by this just completely taken over world, right, with this hive mind, but also being the only person who recognized that it's kind of bad, versus everyone else feeling, hey, it's not too bad for me. Is a pretty interesting premise. I think as a lot of people have related, it is the feeling of being the only person in a group who is not completely subservient to AI technology, and has not converted and been oh well, I just AI generate everything, and that feeling where you're oh well, everyone else is kind of given up, and now I feel like I'm the odd one out and the stickler for not giving up. So pretty good show. I enjoy Pluribus a lot.
Pluribus is a great watch. I've also just caught up to it, and yeah, it fills you with a lot of I don't know if I should be aggravated at the other characters for not trying to find a cure or not, because they are very much content with the situation, and Carol was the only one being hey, lock in, please.
Yeah, lock in.
Lock in. But no, I'm very invested in the series, and I can't wait to see I believe the finale that's coming up for the season 1.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to diving deeper into Pluribus. I unlike the rest of my climbers, I've more recently started Pluribus, and so I'm not as deep in, but the distance that I am in, I can tell the production quality is exceptional. It's almost how would I describe it? Cinematic.
You could argue that Vince Gilligan has too much money.
Yeah, it's just it's funny when you compare the quality of, or just the visual quality of Breaking Bad to this. Breaking Bad was very good, excellent story, but the visuals were nowhere near at the scale of Pluribus, which is awesome, right? When you want your favorite directors and your favorite creators to be able to have the capital to build their dreams and what they envision. So I'm excited to kind of continue Pluribus and to see kind of how the story unfolds and to also experience the finale with everyone else. But yeah, I've enjoyed what I've seen so far.
All right.
Yeah.
What's the next honorable mention we got?
Orb.
Okay, that's another one for me. Orb is on here because I've not finished Orb yet. Orb, or the full title, I think it's Orb and the Movements of the Planets. Is a really great anime series that came out on Netflix. And to give a quick summary, it is about a series of people that are seeking the truth about the Earth. Right? It's set in like a medieval, like a light medieval time period before the Renaissance, where there is a lot of like church control, and these people who are astrologers are beginning to like figure out, just by studying the stars and the rotation and whatnot, like, hey, the whole like geocentrism thing does not make any sense. But if you are supporting like anything but the church doctrine, you will get tortured and killed. So what ends up being is there's a lot of like time skips and whatnot, and it's kind of about people passing the torch, right, to the next person to continue this journey, right, with the end goal being like, you know, like fully understanding like heliocentrism and whatnot. But it's not just one person; it is always like someone else past. Oh, my cat, nice. It's always someone else passing that torch on to another person to like continue the exploration of knowledge. It's really well done. Some really great visuals, especially of stars. Just some incredible shots of like stars and nature, and you know, the beauty of it. And some really great characters. I just have not finished it yet.
Yeah, it looked like cool. I saw the poster for that on Netflix. I meant to always like go and watch it to check it out. I just never got around to it. But it does look extremely like cool and unique. Which get points for me. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a watch next year.
Is it like Ranking of Kings kind of thing?
There's like zero powers. Okay, zero.
Like no fighting.
There's fighting. There is some fighting, but a lot less
there's
than
no
you
powers.
think. It's a lot of okay, it's a lot of people drawing charts and looking at the stars to dramatic music.
It's more dialogue heavy than.
But it's really good. It is really good, but it is not. Don't expect an action anime when you tune into Orb. All right, so yeah, that's Orb. Orb's pretty good. And I think also on the list, just quickly talk about it because it is on other people's top fives. Invincible,
Yeah,
pretty good. You know, I'll leave it at that because I know if you're gonna get a little more into it, Supo. But I thought it was pretty good. Just not top five for me personally.
yeah. I'm gonna mention it a bit more, so I'm gonna save all my glaze for later. But yeah, no, this season was fantastic.
All right, what's next up on the pool?
The Demon Slayer movie. So this one is my honorable mention, and I believe this one's actually on one of my co-host Gray's list. But for me, it's just slightly missed top five media for me. And we're talking like top five movies, it'll probably be there. But since we're doing media like all across all over, there's just other things like I just liked more than this film. But this film was fantastic. This film, especially as a Demon Slayer fan, it was so action packed, and the characters like hit a lot. Like I'm not like I don't want to get too crazy with it, but bro, Akaza went nuts, bro. Rengoku never stood a chance. Rengoku had the deck against him from the start because Akaza went crazy, bro. Like what?
I will be talking about that.
Yeah.
In depth. That is 1,000,000,000% of my top five of the year. That movie was peak.
Yeah. That was like the best anime movie for sure. I'd say that came out.
Incredible.
I think it was a good idea to make this final arc, movies, and I can't wait for the next one.
All right. I think who is the Long Walk on the Arnold?
Oh, that is me
movies?
too. Yes.
I was wondering about that.
So I had Long Walk. Long Walk was really good. And I just want to give a little shout out to it. I'm very big into into these kind of survival X type of movies and shows. Whenever there's a Squid Game or an Alice in Borderland out, I'm gonna be the first one there to view it. And Long Walk was pretty cool. And the thing about what I really enjoyed about Long Walk is just the bond the boys shared as they were walking. Because even though their backs are against the wall and they have, and it's death for them if they stop. They all should be like on paper. They all should be like enemies because they're all competing against each other for the prize. But the prize money and the prize money doesn't get between them. Like if anything, it makes their bond stronger. Like one of their friends will be falling behind, or just a random boy would be falling behind, and everyone will be like, "Yo, just keep it up, come on, we got this. We got to keep going, And it was really good. It was really good. And I really enjoyed the ending as well.
A thing where there's only one winner, but nobody really wants anyone to lose.
Yeah.
It's very strange coming from a bunch of like battle royale type of movies recently.
Yeah, it's something you don't really see a lot of. But there's this like camaraderie amongst them that the film portrays really well.
Yeah, it makes their fate even more emotional.
Yeah. And also the next honorable mention I got on this list was a Gachiakuta.
Exceptional show. I'm gonna geek out just after you're done.
Oh yeah, Gachiakuta. It's personally my favorite anime that came out this year. I love it. I love the style, the aesthetic, especially the aesthetic. I mess with the main character, bro. And just the power system of like the fact that like your trash is your strength. What I mean? You're like everyone's like personal trash, except for main character. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. Rio, I think. It's such a cool power system, and I want to see more about it. And everyone's just so saucy. Everyone is just so saucy. like I haven't seen like a lame character in this show yet. I mean? They all have like their quirks and their own personalities. It feels like a very like alive cast. That's something you don't.
And we can't talk about Gachiakuta without talking about my girl. Samu Greer.
Yeah, you gotta bring around Samu.
And I told y'all. Okay, remember when I read this manga, I was like, watch out. Okay, there's someone coming down the pipeline, and does not disappoint. Okay, they were cooking.
They were.
They had just a beautiful black queen toon anime.
Hold on,
we're here for
a beautiful black queen. Now I gotta watch.
Yo, I can't even, bruh. I can't recall a series that had such a diversity in main characters that felt like, because you know how like some members of the anime community feel like this statement about like, oh, like I don't see color, man. Like race isn't a real thing. Like, it's not really a factor. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, bro. But like, you have a black person that showed up to an anime convention and cosplay of an Asian character, and you feel like you claim that culture because you have a similar skin tone. That's kind of crazy. But within the context of Gachiakuta, you have some of the coldest characters, and then you have the boss of the cleaners, and they're black, bro. Like that's like and not just a generic character that just so happens to be black, but you have
or dark skinned.
Yeah, bro, or dark skinned. You have a character that is as I forget. I don't know if it was Bait if it was super, but saucy, I think is a very accurate description for like so many of the characters in this show, bro. Like there's just like this level, like Corvus is just his aesthetic is so clean. I love also the mysteriousness of the series. Like I haven't read enough.
Same.
I haven't read past where the anime is at right now, and so I am discovering so many parts of the story in real time. Right, like I'm learning about kind of the Raiders' objective and excuse me how mysterious both leaders are. Right, like the leader of the Raiders, we're not even really 100% clear on what his true intentions are with everything that he's doing yet. And we're not clear on the intention of the cleaners. Like it's like he seems like a benevolent person, but we don't really know enough about him yet to really make a call on his character. It's an incredible story. The action is amazing. The animation is top notch. Of the, I believe Super said that it was his favorite new anime that came out this year. I also agree with that sentiment. If we had a new show segment in our ranking system, I would also have to put Gachiakuta probably at my top of series that were released had their season 1 in 2025. There was not an anime this year that blew me away that was brand new at this level. It was absolutely amazing. Every element was spot on. Sumiyu's fight in front of Cleaner headquarters, I think, was probably a highlight for me. Just like I just dodging bullets, bro. Like she literally gave Matrix vibes in an anime.
No.
In heels. Like,
Yeah.
like we really gotta like call it what it is. Like
She is like that.
she's super cold, bro. She's super cold, and I love it. It's an amazing series for so many reasons. But the design of the characters, the cultural diversity in the series,
it's
all of
straight
it
up,
A1.
like it's straight fire, man. Like even though the villains are clean, you know what I mean? I mean, villains are typically clean in the show, but like these villains are clean, bro. Like Jabber is a problem.
Jabber's a problem, bro. Jabber's such a cool character, bro.
Like,
He's so tapped. It's so entertaining.
this man, like I know you hate to go into a fight with Jabber, bro. Like you're gonna be trolled.
Yeah.
He's gonna treat you with drugs and all of it. Like, bruh, just throw a punch, please. I don't want to go. I don't need you to hit me with night covered Molly or whatever you're injecting people with, bro. Like,
he reminds me so much of Heath Ledger's Joker because of how he finds ecstasy in his own torment. And I think in a way his psychotic behavior makes him that much more compelling because he's not even like the leader. He's a grunt on the Raiders, which makes you almost look at the leader of the Raiders like, yo, how strong is this guy for real? Like he has this mad dog on a leash. How? Like how is that even possible? It's they've done a really good job of
y'all making it sound like we gotta do a Gachiakuta pod.
Really? I'm sorry. I actually might think that would be very valid to reach a conclusion.
All right. So your next pick,
my next pick, I believe, is my last pick for honorable mentions is Welcome to Derry. I feel like I had to put it in pause at the last.
Nobody was okay. All right, whatever. Okay, sure.
Because it just ended. It just ended when we decided to do this, and I was going over the series, and it's a really great series. But it just didn't hit my top 5. But Welcome to Derry is a very good prequel to the It movies. Because it's focusing on a new cast of characters, and what I really like about this edition is that, like, usually when it comes to these kind of like shows and movies about things that are like connected to something like popular, the main guy, which in this case would be like Pennywise, they usually wouldn't show him as much, or if they show him, it would be like a cameo. You know, it'd be like a little. We gotta build up to this final moment in this episode, but no, Pennywise shows up and is interfering with the kids relatively early. And you see him in like his full clownery. And it's so good. It's such an interesting story too, because it takes place, you know, even earlier. So I believe it's like in the 1950s, and and around this time, it's dealing. There's themes that deal with like racism. You know what I mean? Our main characters are, I mean, honestly, there's like a group of main characters, but the adult main characters are like black. And it's funny to see it's crazy to see how like a lot of the fear stuff that happens isn't from Pennywise doing it. It's because the town's just that terrible. You know what I mean? Like, and Pennywise is really just benefited off of the town's like chaos and fear against black people. And it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't want to give up too much, but Pennywise is this series is incredible. It's incredible. And you know, I've heard this before, and I think it fits really well. This truly is Penny before he was wise. Because Penny is not Pennywise, actually. Penitentiary Wise is a YN throughout this entire
full government name.
Got his Nike tech on, bro. It's like that.
Got a Nike tech. He got a new fan, bro. He's going around slaughtering anyone which way. Like, he's a problem. He's like a serious like issue. But yeah, I recommend the show to anyone, to everyone, and also the theme song slaps. You know, I've been having a smile and a ribbon in my head for like a minute.
All right, sounds good. My next thing I put up here for honorable mentions is Avatar: Fire and Ash. We just saw that like a couple days ago, and wow, what a picture!
What a movie!
It's really good. You know, Big Jim, he did it again. This is why we watch movies, to see movies like Avatar. It's incredible. Like it's once again another visual feast. Some really great characterization. Really great character progression for like the villain Kortrich, and also you know, his new evil girlfriend Varung is great. Okay, the evil Na'vi are great. With their like fire powers and their like love of modern weaponry. Are there some weird cultural themes in it? Oh, you bet. Is there some stuff in it that will make you like raise an eyebrow and be like, that's a little stereotypical. That's playing with little racist tropes, James Cameron. Yes, for sure. But even with that, I love it. I love how weird the movie is on a fundamental level. Okay, this is a person who's not afraid to do something bananas, and he really plays around with some visuals and whatnot. My only complaint is the ending does feel a little bit too much like Avatar 1. Not fully. There's definitely some differences, but there's definitely some repeat moments too. But overall, fantastic film. Great time. I can't wait to go to Pandora again. You know, and I'm glad that the haters keep getting blown out every single time. Every single time, they're like, oh, Avatar has no cultural impact. Avatar isn't gonna. Doesn't matter. $2 billion. So
$2 billion coming your way.
We love you.
Yeah, nah, I feel you. Avatar: Fire and Ash was a really, really fantastic movie. And I probably, honestly, off the top of my head, it might be my favorite of the Avatar movies so far.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree. You know, I don't think Varang was evil. You know, I got more misunderstood vibes from her.
Okay.
Yes. I'm just saying, there's a light in her. You know, I could change her. You know what I mean? I could, you know.
I can change her. It's great, man. I love that too.
It's just a
I'm
you.
not gonna hold up to you to that, man. You go ahead, do that.
All right, and who thinks I put F1 for the honorable mention?
Yeah, that was me. F1 was a film featuring some actors that I enjoy, Damson Idris, Brad Pitt, directed by the same director as Top Gun Maverick. And when I saw Top Gun Maverick in 2022, one thing that I loved about the film is there's so many scenes in that movie that really make me feel like I'm on a jet. And the tricks and the moves and like the intensity of being on a jet, I felt as a viewer in the theaters watching it. I feel like some of that same excitement came across with F1. Um, I do feel like F1, because it is an origin film, did a really interesting thing with how they chose to shoot certain scenes, and the intensity of certain moments was really felt. Um, I recently researched that they were saying it's one of the top grossing sports films of all time, and I genuinely believe that it deserves that kind of reputation. It's a really good movie. I had a really good time watching it. It was a lot of fun. I will say that there were some moments in the film, especially when we had some tragic moments where they had like car crashes and things like that, where you were like, oh shoot, this is actually like a really dangerous sport. Like they're going really fast and it seems like a lot of fun, but there's an enormous amount of risk involved. And they added a lot of emotional impact and drama to make that risk feel very palpable. But overall, I genuinely enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a fun ride. Nothing felt out of place. And I feel like if you haven't seen it yet, you have an opportunity to watch it on a larger screen of any kind. I think that is the best way to watch a movie like F1. I also would say best way to watch most films by that same director. Top Gun Maverick, same thing. You really should, if you have an opportunity to watch it in like an IMAX or like a larger screen format. It's a very enjoyable film in the cinema.
All right. I will, I'll save my last one for the end because it's not really a. You'll see. Record of Ragnarok. Whose pick is this?
That is also my pick.
Oh, okay.
I'll be honest. So this season of Record of Ragnarok was a lot of fun. If you're unfamiliar with what Record of Ragnarok is, it's a TV animated series available on Netflix. Essentially with the premise of the gods of many different types of mythology decide that they would like to end all of humanity. There are a collective of Valkyries. A collective of Valkyries that believe that humanity deserves a fighting chance. And so they propose an idea to the gods. What if we held a tournament that would give you all an opportunity to fight against humanity, and whoever collects the most wins in this tournament determines the fate of mankind. If the humans win, they've essentially fought for their own survival and they get to live. And if you all win, you all get to wipe out humanity. The gods agree to those terms, only to find that the Valkyries have the ability to turn themselves into weapons that put humanity at a similar power level to the deity figures. And so the tournament actually becomes a bit more competitive than they originally had expected. I think that we're currently on the third season. The third season released this year, actually released in December. So this season actually came out this month, and as Netflix does, they released the entire season in a swoop. And it is quite good. It is very good. This season's fights were very fun, very entertaining. They had some really interesting characters. I was not expecting to see. If you haven't seen that, me talking about it will spoil it if I tell you the fights. But the fights are really good. There were some elements. They do a good job of kind of building backstory for each fighter, for context, so you understand like what is this person's motivations, and then they build the other character's backstory. What are this person's motivations? Kind of why do they care? Why are they invested in this fight? And then they have more of a clash of just more than a clash of just powers, but also a clash of ideologies, which I think is really interesting as well. And it's fun. It's just an enjoyable watch. You as a viewer may not anticipate who will win every fight, but they do justify every fight with like logical explanation of what took place on those final clashes, and it is an extremely entertaining show. I have to give them an honorable mention because even though it didn't make it into my top 5, I genuinely enjoyed it. It was I recently restarted my Netflix subscription, and that was actually one of the first shows that I ran to to watch after I restarted it because I love the previous seasons, and it's literally just that good. It's a really good show.
Nice.
Yes. So I actually read the manga for Good of Ragnarok. And the last time I read it, the next fight, so the fight that goes after the last fight of this season, where that ended, I'm like one fight ahead of wherever the season ended this season. And I've just haven't gone back to read it. But no, you're right. It is a very entertaining series, and I just love the roster picks. That really is what got me really into it.
So good, bro.
roster looking for humanity, bro. like,
Bro.
You got so much sleeper hits, man.
So many sleeper hits, dude.
So my last honorable mention is a show that broke my heart, and that's 2B Hero X. And I remember watching 2B Hero X, when it was coming out. I remember like I saw a trailer for it like years ago. I was like, dang, this looks really cool. It's 3D 2D animation from China. And me, I'm like the number one China glazer on this podcast. I was ready to declare 100% cultural victory. But man, the first like set of episodes are amazing, right? Everything about Mr. Nice and the Commoner, fantastic, right?
Yeah.
The next set of episodes about Easel and Neo Easel, fantastic. I love them. All right. Then it just kind of goes down. All right. When we got Lucky Sion, bro, you know what? And I was willing to wait. I was willing to wait. And the problem with this, all these things is there's a good plot being built up in those first 6 episodes.
Yes.
And then we just go to like, let's go see what these guys are doing. And also, I know there's plot reasons for it too, but they stopped switching from 2D to 3D. So it's just 2D. And it's still good animation, but it's just 2D. And it's the Lucky Sim was just so hard for me to get through. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to push through. Then I got Queen. And Queen was okay. Queen for me was a little bit better than Lucky Sion. And I was like, all right, there's hope for this yet. And then we get, I think, Ghostblade?
Yes.
And
we get,
Lolly.
Yeah.
That's just, I'm sorry. The Lolly section's just garbage. All right. It is, the tone's completely different. It feels very stupid. And then when you get the context from the Ghostblade story, it gets even dumber. Okay? Ghostblade's a bad character, in my opinion. And then it goes even further. And now we're doing like the Ghostblade can't talk to his daughter, but he wants to talk to his daughter. Bit. And even though the animation's good, it's just such a struggle. And I tried to finish the show before this, and I got stuck on Little Johnny, man.
Yeah,
when I got to Little Johnny part,
you didn't finish.
Little Johnny's where I tapped.
I couldn't, man. It's tough. Okay, the show became tough to watch, like physically.
You didn't see the finals, the season finale.
And the thing is, I've seen clips from the final part. Okay. I've seen clips, so I know it gets hype again.
It gets so hype.
That's the worst part. I know that if I make it through, I get to like X and Nice and Common and all that stuff.
Great, bro.
But it's the valley. Like it's like you have this huge peak, and it's like also peak, but the valley is so deep that I
Great.
just can't do it.
That's
I just
funny.
can't. I just can't do it. And I want to love To Be Hero X. I really do, but sadly, it just didn't go through.
Yeah, no, I share a lot of your similar sentiments. I would say I liked Cyan more than Queen. I think Science was all right, but Queen I was starting to fade out a bit, and then Lolly I was starting to fade out a bit. Uh, yeah, it really is for me. It really is a case of just one. I wasn't expecting it to be an anthology. But even if I was, I'm but even when it was revealed that this is what we're doing, I'm like, okay, I'll strap in, see where these other heroes go, and maybe hopefully we get back to the initial plot in the first 3 episodes. You know what I mean? And it just where I'm at, it just doesn't feel like it's ever getting back there. And it sucks because and don't get me wrong, like the show isn't I can't say the show's terrible, but it's just it's just not as interesting as it was when I first started it. Like those first 3 episodes were 10. Exto 10, maybe 9 even, just slightly below, if anything. And then after Exto, I felt like there was a dramatic decrease. And it's just been a decrease ever since. I'm just I'm trying to get back in there. I try to get back after I want to say the Ghostblade one. I'm like, okay. But I want the Ghostblade. But so maybe hopefully this next arc is good, right? And they're showing the Johnny story. And bro, one episode to the Johnny.
Yeah, that's it. One episode of Johnny, I'm out.
I it's a real I don't think I've tried to and I've heard a lot of praise from it about the show. I heard a lot of people be like, yo, this is anime of the year. This is the best anime, you gotta watch it. All I've heard is praise about it. I don't think I've really heard anything negative about it. And I'm just bro, are you guys watching the same To Be Hero X I'm watching? I'm like, do I got is there do I have to Y in here? Am I watching To Be Hero Y perhaps? Maybe I'd be hitting up To Be Hero W. I don't I don't I'm so lost, man. But maybe one of these days I do plan on catching up, but it is a real struggle for me to get through it.
Yes.
That's so interesting that you all have that take of it's challenging to finish. I don't know. I understand a tonal shift. And it's interesting to see where both of you kind of got hung up, whether it'll be Little Johnny or Lucky Scion. Because I, speaking only for myself, I think To Be Hero X does a decent job of adding a hint of some of the other characters as you're watching certain characters' stories play out in order to feed into an idea of curiosity. I wonder what that person's story is all about. Or I wonder who they are. Right? I don't know who this person is. I'm curious about them in order to make you let's talk about their story. Let's reveal who they are, give you some clarity on this person's character. And by the end of the series, by the end of the season, I should say, you have a pretty clear visual of who all the people are. Now, I can understand if one of the person's stories you were just I don't care about this person. They're not that interesting to me. Which is a pure pure opinionated thing, right? You might see a character and say, I just don't care about this person. Which is where Bait and Supa, I feel like your opinions on that connect, where you both found characters that you found boring or a bit too dimensional, and you lost interest, which is
fair. I was not even the characters. I would also say it's the plot around said
the
story.
The plots of some of the episodes are just very boring. And it's and you get little breadcrumbs of I guess the larger narrative even in these episodes, but it's not it's not compelling. The interpersonal drama of the first 6 episodes are just so much better than whatever's going on afterwards, to the point you're oh, and and Johnny is just
yeah. I agree that the first few episodes were the best, and the last few episodes were also extremely good. So I understand what you mean about valleys, because I will say that you're correct. The storyline that we got between Nice Moon and the Commoner was such an interesting like trifecta of storytelling, and then her untimely demise at the hands of a person that we didn't know who they were at that time, and then we got to understand more about Soul's story. We're like, oh shoot, like hired hand. This is pretty dark. Um, I did enjoy the beginning a lot. I thought it was an exceptional way to get people into the series. And I think as they attempted to show different groups and different motivation, different teams, I do feel like some of it did wane off. I won't say that they maintained that high level of storytelling, which is disappointing. I can understand why it may fall out of someone's top 5 after they started watching it, because there was a potential for it to be exceptional, and it was only good to me. It was good to me, but they couldn't break into great or exceptional.
So we can move on to our picks. Right before we get to our top 5, so we're going to do a quick run through of the things we liked this year that did not come out in 2025. Do you want to kick us off, Beto?
The non-2025 pick for me was Earthlings. Is a mix between Earthlings and Perfect Blue. This is my first time reading this book, Earthlings. Don't have the book on me, but the book is by Sayaka Murata. It was a simple sci-fi fiction book about a Japanese girl who is growing up, but she's kind of an outcast through her family and to her friends and everyday life. She views things a lot differently, and her closest friends is her cousin and a hedgehog toy that she bought that she thinks is actually that came from an alien planet. And she called the toy Pute. And we see her life as narrated by her, and it's such an interesting story because it's the way she's describing everything and describing her as a child, describing her as a teenager, describing her more as an adult. We see her story progress, and we're left in disarray and like getting caught up in all these things. And so I can't spoil much, but it's such an impactful that even just reading the next sentence is going to be like a stomach turn, and just something that you never thought would be ever put into a piece of literature. But this is something I read basically in a week, and I was like so shocked by everything, and I really liked it. Perfect Blue is an animated film directed by one of the he did other amazing other movies like Millennial Actress, Tokyo Godfathers, Paprika. You probably heard of these kinds of movies. Satoshi Kon, and it's about a rising pop star who's trying to pursue herself as an actress, but her feelings about leaving that and also becoming this actress blends, and her reality shifts while disturbing things and paranoia comes about her. And it was my first time watching it. I saw it in theaters, and seeing it in theaters was just an amazing experience. I love this movie, and I think it's like a very perfect animated feature that describes paranoia and basically the feeling of just being haunted by just even your choices, and also just being I guess it's like a real metaphor on how women has felt as when they're becoming an actress, or just basically that being themselves and getting caught up by internet frenzy, and just how um, just basically how paranoia and how the internet takes control of a lot of people's image and just gets downright creepy. I loved it. I love this movie.
Okay.
Some good
Nice.
choices.
That's some good recs. What you got for us?
Oh yeah. So for my non-2025 pick, I only got the one. I watched this. I watched this series in the beginning of this year, like around January-ish, December, January-ish. and I binged the series during that month. And the series is the show From.
Mm.
So From is an amazing thriller type slash kind of horror-ish show where there's a bunch of people who get trapped in a town, but they can't leave because there's the whatever the forces may be is keeping them there. And uh in this town, every night monsters come out to attack people, and they don't do it to eat them. They do it for the love of the game.
Love the game. All right.
Yeah, they're savage with it. But the only way to protect yourselves is to stay inside a house with a talisman on it, and if that talisman is on the house, the monsters can't come in. But the thing is, they could change into other people and shapeshift and do all of this stuff to make people kind of lower their guard and be like, hey, it's your old friend, it's your grandma. Why don't you open up the door, before before I get attacked by all these things out here? And it's such a uncanny show because that's like with that explanation of it. You would think, okay, so all they gotta do is just kind of stay in the house and be safe. But this town that they're in is so like it actively goes out of its way to like mess with certain people, especially the main character Boyd, who's like the sheriff in the town. And it's a real yeah, we have the rules, but honestly, the rules could change anytime. The rules might. I know we established this, but I'm gonna keep it a beat with you. Keep your head on a swivel. But yeah, no, it's a really good binge watch, and there's so many mysteries about what the town is, how the monsters are created. Why is it doing this? Who's behind all of this? And we're just now starting to get a couple of the answers. But they're also amidst of all of these mysteries, more mysteries are being brought upon. It's a real it's just cool to just witness from afar and just kind of like have these theories of what could this place really be? You know what I mean? And how does it truly work? And the more that the characters find out the answers to these, the more the place feels like it's like fighting back. And there's a lot of other like mystical stuff, like the tree. There'll be certain trees that can warp you to different parts of the map, to the different parts of the area. There's honestly, we don't even know, but there's certain things with the lantern. There's what I feel like is like a time related loop that's going on right now. It's nuts. It's nuts. And if you're in the mood for like a binge, From is your series for sure.
I like it. All right, Gray, what is your non-2025 pick?
So I picture some series that were not originally released in 2025, but that had some type of release this year. So one of my picks for this was Boruto to Blue Vortex. If you are a dedicated member of Pika Fiction, you know my personal feelings.
Yep.
Take arena on Boruto to Blue Vortex. But that man, it's good, man. It's really good. I can't deny the juxtaposition of Naruto and the relationship that Naruto has with Sasuke, and we're used to see that story, right? We know, Naruto, the light of the Hidden Leaf Village, Sasuke, the darkness of the Hidden Leaf Village, and they have these two different ways of approaching kind of a desire to be connected to others, and they're doing it in their own individual ways, and then they have this grandiose conclusion at the end of Shippuden, and it was beautiful. Naruto was beautiful, but I did have a bit of a fear heading into Boruto of a repeat, right? Are we just going to get the exact same story again? And they didn't do that. They didn't give us the exact story again. Boruto did something very different, and I very much enjoyed it. I love Kawaki as a character. I can see some viewers being irritated with who he is in the same way that I was irritated with who Sasuke was when I was watching Naruto originally as a kid. I'm like, man, this guy's annoying. He's just abandoning everyone who cares about him. What a jerk. Um, Watching Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, though, I really think Kawaki's character, who almost has like a reverse perspective, like he's overly dedicated to the people that he loves. And he's willing to sacrifice any and everything, including himself, to make sure that they are happy and safe. And I think it's awesome. It's a really interesting story. Boruto has a similar desire. He wants to protect everyone he cares about, regardless of how much he has to sacrifice to do so. And they approach a similar issue with two different perspectives, ways of doing so, and it culminates in a story that feels connected but unique. And I very much enjoyed Two Blue Vortex this year. I'm looking forward to seeing where the story continues to go. That was my first non 2025 pick. My second non 2025 pick is actually a film that had a re-release in theaters, but it's a much older film. It was Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. I had never seen the original Kill Bill films. I had no context of it.
Really? Okay.
This was my very, very first time seeing the full Kill Bill film, any of the Kill Bill films, and I got to see both of them back to back, as well as a fortnight extra episode released and directed.
They did do that, didn't they?
They sure did do that. Directed by Tarantino, connected to a sibling of a character from the films. And overall, I loved The Whole Bloody Affair. I think the character concept behind the bride, and the fights were very entertaining. I think crafting a character that is imperfect, especially considering how the story ends, and kind of who Bill is as a character, and kind of the bride's motivations and like their final grandiose situation, right? I think was very interestingly written. As I mentioned, I my first time seeing it, I am a Tarantino fan, though. I know some people have very strong feelings about Quentin Tarantino, and you're allowed to feel how you want to feel. You know, it's a free world. But a lot of the films that I've seen from him, I did enjoy. Like I've enjoyed Reservoir Dogs. I enjoyed what was he's done quite a few films that I thought were quite good.
Django Unchained,
Django Unchained,
Hateful Eight,
I think was probably my favorite. I don't know if Kill Bill definitely is a more beloved film, and I understand why. Although I don't know if I can personally put it above Django Unchained, because Django Unchained was a very fun movie. It had a lot of iconic scenes that I thought were really, really enjoyable. But seeing Kill Bill for the first time really made me feel comfortable saying that I understand the hype. I get the hype finally. And I'm happy that I got a chance to re-release in theaters. And I got a chance to watch it in the cinema. I think is a really special way to experience that movie. So shout out to Tarantino and the incredible piece of cinema that is Kill Bill.
Nice. Mm-hmm. All right. So my non-2025 pick is the Red Rising trilogy. I from a random TikTok recommendation, I got into Red Rising, and whew, that is a great series of books. Specifically, the audiobooks narrated by one Tim Gerald Reynolds, and the Red Rising is written by Pierce Brown. It's a really great like dystopian science fiction series, and it sets up a world. Well, it's on Mars, but in the future. But it's a world that's pretty bleak, full of like immiseration. As the main character Darrow is from a lower class, he's a red, which means he's not only socially inferior to the other colors, but he is genetically inferior, because the rulers of the society, the Golds, have basically segmented everyone into their own kind of class. And each person is kind of genetically built for that. Like obsidians are built for war, right? So they live in kind of like a Norse culture. Reds they work in the mines, right? That's their job. They work in the mines, and they are at the very bottom. But at the same time, they underpin the society. And after a series of events, Darrow is given a chance to be turned, right, and have his genetics turned and basically be rebuilt from a red into a gold. And his job as a gold is to infiltrate gold society and destroy it from within. So the first book is it's kind of like a Hunger Games-esque thing. He's like, Darrow's like a teenager, and he goes to the Institute, where he basically is put in this huge, giant, death game, where the point isn't just to kill your opponents, but it is to, train you to be a conqueror, right? So Darrow has to go through a lot. There's a lot of twists. There's a lot of good turns. He aura farms like crazy and gives some really great speeches. There's some cool tech and whatnot. And then book 2 explores after he's graduated the Institute, but now he is a young man, and now he's trying to fulfill his role in Gold Society while also secretly trying to undermine it. And the third book is more of the revolution, for real. They're all great. It's a really great series. It's very well written. There's some really good tech. I love Darrow Alicus. There's some really great side characters like Severo or Pax or Ragnar or Mustang. And Pierce Brown is not afraid to kill your fave. And there's been some tough moments reading that book where a really great side character that you love just gets done dirty and they're gone. And that's that. And I'll say, especially book 2, there's a moment in book 2 where things go real bad. Things go real bad. And I had I remember I had distinct seconds before disaster where I was listening to the book and I was like, man, that guy, he's not so bad, really. I know that we've had disagreements with him in the past, but he's all right. And then enter the Red Wedding. It's it gets brutal, but it's a really great series. And right now I'm starting I'm still reading Iron Gold, which is the next trilogy of books. So I highly recommend Red Rising if you are into science fiction, dystopias and stuff like that. But all right, we're gonna move into our actual top 5s. Beto, we kick off our top 5. Your top 5.
At number 5, I'm gonna go with Begonia. This movie actually surprised me. It's just basically a crazy Twilight Zone episode, and I definitely love it. It's highly recommended. It's rated R though, just to let you guys know. But Begonia is pretty good. It's a really great movie. Just think Twilight Zone. Thunderbolts is extremely something that not a lot of people are going to put on this list. As for my number 4, it's surprising, I know, but I think in my heart it's a decent Marvel movie. It's its own thing and its own movie. It doesn't rely on a lot of references. It does have relying on references, but it's its own film through and through, straightforward narrative. I can put it on, probably wash the dishes, do my laundry, probably just sit down and have a good time. Thunderbolts, it's my number 4 for this year. Number 3, I put between 2 comic books, The Sacrificers and Beneath the Trees.
You read Beneath the Trees?
Yes. This is the sequel, though. I guess I can put both, but I can't spoil a lot of Beneath the Trees, but I can recommend it. I cannot recommend it highly. It is an incredible book that juxtaposes pretty animals and a very dark thriller story.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna do 2 words: Bear Dexter.
Bear Dexter, yes.
Oh, I'm familiar with this. Yeah, the webtoon.
Just
right?
think of that.
No, not the webtoon. You're thinking of
it is a webtoon though. It's
Is it a webtoon?
It is a
it's
webtoon.
the first
Oh,
one.
I was thinking of what Everything Is Fine, but that's different. Okay,
Everything
all right.
is fine is another webtoon that is different.
Yeah. So think of
Okay.
that, but actual furry animals. But Beneath the Trees is on the first series is on webtoons. I can't recommend that one. It's really good. I cannot. It's awesome. The Sacrificers though, recommender, goated writer. He also he created Agent Venom, so he's an amazing writer and he does a lot of like independent stuff, and they're really great, especially for sci-fi fantasy. This one is another one of those where how do I be brief about this? It's just basically like this fantasy world where these people have to give up someone to sacrifice to the deities, the gods, but this one person becomes a little bit of an outlaw or rebellious and finds the truth about it. Also, while one of the daughters of the deities also rebels as well, and their actions have huge consequences in this world, and it tumbles and it stumbles, and everything about it is awesome. It's a pretty good series. You can get it on trade paperback right now or read it online. I'd recommend just reading online, though. But definitely a top comic books at the moment. And number 2 is Bahubali. Bahubali.
Okay, I have to specify. You pronounce it as Bahubali. I've been told this many times.
I got cut once.
Yeah, man, we got to be accurate as podcasters.
Gotta be accurate. We definitely do. But this one, surprisingly, even though it is 2 movies that previously was made years ago, this one is like is edited as one movie, and I think it was like a killer, an amazing, epic movie that I just was like floored by it throughout the whole entire time. I cannot recommend it as well. Love it, love it, love it. And number 1 is Superman. Superman. I love this movie. I don't care how many people don't like it. I don't care how many Snyder fans don't like it. I don't care. I do not care. This movie was something I've been waiting for. This movie is something that I've been dreaming of watching, an actual proper DCU movie. You can watch this movie and don't need to watch the rest of the DCU movies. You can just watch this and have a great time. It's fine. It's amazing, decent. And it's at this point, if it's not like Superman, what are you doing as a filmmaker for superhero movies? What are you doing? This is just like, this is the foundation. If it's not like this, what are we doing?
Okay, that's a good list. It's a proper list.
A proper list. Thank you.
Yeah, I mess with it. I mess with what you reviewed this year, bro.
All right. Let's see your list.
All right.
I'm editing this with that scene now.
So this is my 50-minute disposition for each. Okay.
Yeah, you got your essay.
Yeah. You joke, but all right. So for my number 5, I have Dispatch. So Dispatch is a really great video game that just came out like a month or 2 ago, and the story is really fantastic. It's a decision-based game. So you go through the dialogue options, and everyone kind of interacts with said option that you chose. And the if you like Invincible and you like The Boys, this is the game for you. This is the story for you, because it's a superhero world, but it's a superhero world, and you play as a dispatcher who dispatches this former group of villains to be heroes out into the field. And what I really like about it is just the interaction and the characters. Like, the characters are really good, and it's also just a really funny game. And what really pulls it all together, for me, is the dispatcher mode itself. Because when I tell you I was fiending, especially when they were releasing the episodes like week to week, bro. Like, I would hit up, I would get to like the latest episode and be like, I want I need to dispatch someone. I need to send someone out in the field. I need to check the stats. Like Skybound, Skybound, please give an endless dispatching mode, bro. I'm telling you.
It sounds like you need to play like MLB Manager or something. No, you know you need to play Uma Musume. You need to be the manager of the horse girls. I think that's gonna fill the same void.
Yeah, just get my fix real quick. But yeah, no, Dispatch is phenomenal. And also even being even though it's like a choice-based game, the replayability factor in it is also pretty high. Like I replayed it like 3 times. Just because I wanted
all
to
right,
like,
all right.
other spots. But yeah, that's my number 5. Ghost of Yote is my number 4. Another great story, video game with a great story about a woman whose family's been murdered. And he's just trying to seek revenge for her family. And I got very engrossed with the story as Atsu goes through the main line and goes and tries to get revenge on the people who has slain her family. And yeah, even though the main storyline is you tracking down the Yote 6, which is like the main antagonist, there's so much to do in the game. The game, it feels so, and I thought Ghost of Tsushima, which is the sequel of this, was big, but Ghost of Yote is like it's huge, bro. Like I swear, if I get off the path of the main line, like there's like a path to like the main quest. If I veer off like 6 inches to the left, I swear I'm going to be like in some side quest or hitting with another bounty or seeing some secret part of the map. Like it's amazing. And even just going back to the story aspect too a bit, it's also just a really well told story about Atsu and how she deals with the feeling of revenge and how she evolves over time in order to succeed. And it gets to a point where at the beginning she has nothing, but by the end she realizes all the people that she actually has something to like lose by the end, and you feel that. It is a shame that it wasn't nominated for Game of the Year. Like I don't think it would have won, but I would have liked to have seen it nominated. Giving the other games the benefit of the doubt, giving the other games the benefit of the doubt, maybe maybe they were better, but personally, I think it could have knocked out at least Donkey Kong Bonanza, but that's just me. Yeah,
Interesting.
But yeah, no. I go to Yote.
You're talking a lot of talk over there, but I'm gonna let it rock.
I'm just saying, if I had to choose, one of these things are not like the other. But yeah, no, go to Yote is fantastic. For my number 3, I got Superman, and I said it once before, and I'll say it again. It's Superman. So like. Beto got a bit into it, so I won't delve too crazy. But bro, this is like the best interpretation of Superman we've seen on the screen.
Yeah,
and it's also I'd even go as far as to say this is like the best interpretation of Lex we've seen on the screen. Like these two, like the especially the Lex being such a big hater. That was one of my. He's one of my favorite just haters of all time because of this film, bro. The infamous, 1A, 1A. Like that plays in my head on repeat, bro. Like, but this movie definitely fills you with a lot of hope, and it shows why Superman is the way he is, and he doesn't need to be this brooding aura farming being to be cool. He could be just a nice guy and still be as cool as you or me. But on my list is Invincible season 3. Now, this season was fire, bro. I really enjoyed this thoroughly, bro. Like every episode, I was hooked. I was hyped for the next one, man. Like after like after the final episode of this season was released, like weeks later, like I was just feeling like watching Invincible again, I just rewatched the entire series from the start. Like that's how much I really enjoyed it. Like I really like the subplot of Mark and Cecil being at odds with each other because Cecil has this mentality of the ends justify the means, and Mark is calling out that Cecil's means aren't just at all, and it brings this like interesting dynamic to this group that we haven't seen before, and also this like Mark usually suffers in this show. Season 3 is where he suffered like the most, bro. Like he is going through it. Like from like villains like Powerplex being like, man, you killed my family, even though, Mark Mark really did it. Mark was out here trying to help people, but Powerplex like, nah, bro. I've seen the clips of you clearly helping people. You gotta be the reason why my family's dead. I don't I don't want to tell you, bro. Or Angstrom, like I'll say this, right? Angstrom, launching the Invincible War is an S tier move, but Angstrom is a D tier villain. Because what do you mean that? What do you mean that? Oh, I hate Invincible so much that I'm going to side with the 20 evil variants that has killed my families in other dimensions to go against the one good Invincible in this dimension, and that will show everyone how evil Invincible is. All that brain for absolutely nothing. I know the teachers gave him extra time on the test. But what are we talking about? But no, the Invincible War was fantastic though. Put aside, the Invincible War was fantastic. But what to top off the season though, what really stood out, the peak of the peak, Conquest showing up, bro. Conquest is a force. Like he's
Conquest
like
is a force for real.
Like, oh bro, like it got like because all this destruction from the Invincible War has just happened, and Mark's feeling as more down than ever. And then here's this villager Mike being like, "Oh, stand ready for my arrival, worm." And Mark is angry. He's like, "Yo, I'm not in the mood for this. If you gonna be here, let's squabble right now. I need to hit something really hard." And Cockroach is like, "Those are the words I need to hear." And Congress proceeds to put BTA on Mark for the next 20 to 30 minutes. And it's bad. It's bad. It got to a point where where I was watching it for the first time, I was like, are we generally gonna beat this guy? How I don't think plot armor is a thing anymore. I think people are gonna die. Like I was really like, okay, this is the part where Omni-Man or Alan's gonna come in, right? Because there's no, but like
someone's got to run interference. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Mark was getting beat down, bro. It was brutal.
Like it was tough. It was tough. And Conquest is just such a good villain because he just wants problems always. He just wants problems. Yeah. And his speech where he goes to Mark's ear, he's like, "I'm so lonely." That's like a top 10. That's like a top 5 probably villain speech. Low key.
Top 5 of all fiction.
Okay, you know what? I'll be leading you. Top 10. I gotta think about it first. Sorry, I'm letting the hype overtake me. But yeah, no, this season was amazing. I'm super hyped for the next one. It's only up from here, hopefully. Yeah, Invincible stay winning. And now for my final pick. Pick you've all been waiting for. My number one media of the year is a little movie called Sinners. And this was my favorite movie. This was my favorite movie of this year, by far. I love how this movie blends so many different genres and subgenres together. Like it's both a horror / thriller / action / periodic timepiece / musical even. And even on the topic of music, the music is such an important part of this movie. the soundtrack and the film is just straight up amazing. I've listened to the soundtrack so many times, but the main tracks I go back to a lot is Rocky Road to Dublin, In Moonlight, and I Lied to You, especially the version they play in the movie. In fact, I played in I Lied to You so much that it ended up on my YouTube 2025 wrap up.
Okay.
So it's really good. I recommend listening to that, or even just seeing the scene that it's associated with, because when it plays in the movie, it's at a party, and it's literally transforming the dance floor, and showing people going through time, because it starts off with them in the I'm bad with dates, but let's say that they start off in like the 1900s, and then it like skips so forward to like a party in the 1930s, and then the 1950s, and then the 1960s, and then suddenly like there's DJs, and then there's like dancers and singers from every part of the world, and it just shows how much music connects people, which is which is why, ironically enough, the main villain of the movie, Remy, wants to take control of the music artists at the bar party. And not only did I really enjoy the music, the characters are such a standout. Remy as the main vampire is a great villain. He's like he's not like overtly evil. He has evil tendencies, but he's not overtly evil, and he's like just super charming. His plan is to unite the world by turning like everyone into vampires, because once you're a vampire, you're kind of like just unified. You're like a hive mind. And because it's that takes place in the past, you know what I mean, where racism and sexism is like rampant. He pretty much, Remy's like, I mean, you're dealing with all this, but we have unity, brother. If you join us, you'll be able, I'm just saying, what do you want to be part of something bigger? And and he does weirdly enough have like a point, because especially later down the line, the bar jukebox gets met with like KKK members. So he's not wrong, but it's like we can't give up our free will to enjoy this unity, because we like the sunlight. We don't want to be part of your little vampire army. All right. And
You're right.
and so
I'm sorry.
and so yeah, I enjoyed it. The actors were super good. Michael B. Jordan was playing two twins, and they both have different personalities. And like I swear he acted so good, it feels like he has like an additional twin on set. You know what I mean? And the main character, I believe his name is Samuel in the movie. That was the actor's first time actually acting, and he knocked it out the park as well. There's no weak performances at all in this film, and if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it, especially like on the visual like aspect, because there's a lot of like, I don't know, it's just such a black movie too. like I just like during the party scene, we got a lot of like people interacting with each other, using slang, doing our dances, and there's also like there's also this like homey feel to them. Like even when they get turned into like even when some of them get turned into vampires, like they're still like acting like there's like this homey like vibe. Like, oh, come on, what's wrong, brother? But yeah, no, it's I mess with the film. I mess with the film a lot. And yeah, if you haven't watched it, I recommend to go check it out. It's definitely a top contender for best movie of the year.
All right, there's some good recommendations. All right, I'm gonna do my best to like accelerate this, because I keep looking at that clock.
No world. You got it, bait.
I got this. All right. Watch this. Watch me work. All right. So my number 5 pick is Superman. Like everyone else said, really great movie. Outstanding job by James Gunn, and sets a really great tone for Superman in the future. And I believe it did a good job of making people like Superman again on a mass scale. And for that, I'm grateful. And I look forward to seeing what Mr. Gunn does next. My next pick, and my number 4 pick, is so slightly controversial. Well, it's a great movie, but the actor is controversial. And that's going to be Magazine Dreams with Jonathan Majors. Okay. Is Jonathan Majors a good guy? No. However,
You just hate him because he's black.
Magazine Dreams is fire. Okay. Magazine Dreams is one of like the most gripping films I've seen like all year, in years, truly. It's the most uncomfortable movie I've ever seen. I wanted to jump out of my seat watching it because of just like the cringe. The Killian Maddox is this super self-destructive bodybuilder who you can tell he has all these issues and you want to feel bad for him, but he's also this insanely jacked man that has like this great capacity to do harm to the people around him. And you just watch like things get worse and worse and worse over time. And every time you feel like we've hit the climax, it keeps going. Really outstanding film. And whenever Jonathan Majors, here's the thing. I understand Jonathan Majors has to do his time in movie jail, but could we perhaps parole him from movie jail? Could we parole Jonathan Majors? Have him out for good behavior. If he messes up again, then he goes back to movie jail. But for the time being, I don't think there's any harm in giving Jonathan Majors acting roles again.
It really isn't,
because
it's real.
That brother can act. He may be an abusive narcissist, but can I take a picture?
Nah, bro, Megan loves him, bro. Megan good.
I know. He's getting the co-sign. All right. So from after Magazine Dreams, I want to shout out Gray's Estate Developer. I'm a big fan of webtoons, manhwas, and Gray's Estate Developer just ended like a month ago, and it's incredible. It just took me over. When I read that, I wasn't expecting a whole lot. Like people were hyping it up. If you're on like any sort of Reddit for webtoons, people are always talking about Great Estate Developer or posting meme faces that Lloyd, the main character, makes. But it's really, really good. Top down look of it is it's a Korean civil engineer who like dies and he gets isekai'd into this fantasy world that he read about from like a novel series that he read, where everything goes wrong for the character that he is now inhabiting, and their entire family is on the road to being like killed off, right? To give the actual protagonist of the story, Javier's plot development, right? They're just background characters. That's their fate. So he does not want to die, and he wants to live a comfortable life. So he uses his knowledge of civil engineering to drastically improve the lives of everyone around him by like building stuff, right, with what he has. Like he builds like heated flooring. He does better construction. Like he does like a really enhanced mine. As he gets more powers and he abuses the system, the amount of modern things that he builds in this fantasy world gets increasingly absurd. Like he's building like high-rise apartments at some point, right? And using magic and like different creatures to basically make like rebar and install it. Things he should not be able to do, but he's pulling them off. And basically, the flow of it is him and Javier get to a new location, and it's like, how do we get out of the situation? And Lloyd's like, I'm gonna build something. I'm going to build something, and then I'm also going to charge an exorbitant fee so I can get paid off of it. And it's really great. The really great character growth. The bond between Javier and Lloyd's great. Really great side characters, and it's hilarious. It is just so funny. There's so many great chapters and so many great gags that go through the series, but it's still heartfelt when it needs to be. So, great state developer, fantastic, great read, and it's worth it's like 200, 250 chapters, whatever, but it's pretty good. Number 2 is Neja 2. I have a little video essay on my side channel about Neja 2, and we did a podcast Neja 2. I love Neja 2. Okay, that means something to me. All right. It is an incredible animation. Like, it is for me neck and neck with Spider-Verse in terms of quality. It looks fantastic, has a great story, much more deep and dark than you expect for like a story aimed at kids. And it's just spectacular. And I would say, I think by the time this episode comes out, it's going to be on HBO Max. Watch it. Be a person who says, I like Neja 2 before it blew up. Because it's going to blow up. Okay, I keep saying this. But very soon, okay, people are going to stop posting TikTok clips and edits and all this stuff. And everyone's going to be like, I'm a Neja 2 fan. So be there early. That's all I'm saying. Just be there early. Neja 2 is fantastic. Incorporating Chinese mythology into like anything is pretty great because you don't see it a lot. You see a lot of Japanese and Korean stuff because that's just popular, but it's fantastic. And my number 1 pick, best of 2025, is Andor. Andor season 2 is legendary. It is just this spectacular series, and I was worried about how they would move on from season 1, because Andor season 1, which of course takes place Star Wars before the events of the original trilogy, in that kind of like negative zone where the Empire is pushing down, has so much control, and you can't even imagine fighting against it, and all these rebel spies are trying to make something they can fight the Empire, right? And over time, they start to really build a rebellion, right? And in season 2, you see that moment when the rebellion is actually like a fighting force versus like these disconnected groups. It's just an incredible acting. I love the character of Cassian Andor, Bix, Luthen, Clea. They're all fantastic. Mon Mothma's great. Just spectacular acting. Like, these people are just acting their hearts out for this Star Wars TV show. It deserved like so many more Emmys than they got. But what can you do? What can you do? I still think of the quotes, especially like some of the stuff that Saw Gerrera says, like Forrest Whitaker's character. When he's like, breathe in the rhino, breathe in, let it run wild. It's great. Okay. The whole Gorman situation, Gorman massacre, is super well done, and it really fits the times. It's a timeless show that fits the times, right? It's a show about resisting against fascism and empire and colonialism, and it happens to come out at a time where it feels extremely relevant. But even without that, it just is this really great narrative. Probably the best thing Star Wars has ever made. I absolutely adore Andor season 2, and it is my favorite thing that came out in 2025.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, not bad, man.
I gotta I've been in the middle of reading Greatest Developer and Andor myself, so someday I'll finish them. But Greatest State especially, I really enjoyed.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good read. Easy read too. All right, Gray.
All right. So I'll try to get through the 5 through 4 somewhat smoothly. So my number 5 pick of peak media for 2025 is actually a video game. And it is the first original 3D platformer that Nintendo released for their brand new console Switch 2. Now, you all may not know my gaming passions, but I love platformers. Side scroller platformers are probably my number one, and 3D platformers are my number two gaming genre of all time. I love them, and Nintendo is the go-to platformers. Like no one makes platformers at the quality level that Nintendo does. Um, that being said, Bonanza blew me away. Um, the gameplay was so extremely fun and fresh, and they gave you a lot of flexibility as a player to really experiment and try different things. And they even had elements of you being able to like play with a friend, as the young girl that was riding on Donkey Kong's back, Pauline. And you just got to experiment in so many interesting ways in this beautiful, large, open world environment. Everything in the game was fully destructible, which made it even more fun to just like break stuff and kind of experiment. And they rewarded you for doing so. Like it was an incredible game, fun story. And they even did something special for like old time fans to get little Easter eggs in the series that were really fun. So that is my and it made it in my top five because it was that impressive of a game. And I think it really took advantage of what the Switch 2 had to offer performance wise. Amazing experience. That's my number five. Number four is an anime series. Season 2 came out this year, so that's why I'm celebrating it, called The Apothecary Diaries. The Apothecary Diaries follows an apothecary named Mamao, who essentially, due to a fortunate series of events, ends up working in the inner courtyard for the emperor. And she ends up finding herself as almost like a detective, with a variety of like horrible events that take place within this inner courtyard area. And she does a really interesting job of maintaining her social status as someone who is not high ranking, but is assisting the eunuch who is in charge of this entire inner courtyard area. And they end up developing a very close bond. And in season 2, we end up getting some elements of romance, which, if you know me, I love a good romantic story. Really builds into that moment from season 1 into season 2 in a really interesting way. If you enjoy both romance, drama, and mystery, I cannot recommend the series enough. It's phenomenal. And season 2 definitely has an ending that makes you curious as to how they'll continue it going forward, because it does feel a bit finite, but it feels like there's room for a possibility of a little bit more story. So I'm excited to see what they do next in the storyline. 3 for me is where we're starting to get to some finales. And I think 2025 was interesting of a year because a lot of stories that had taken place over a pretty long period of time reached their conclusions this year. This is the first one I'm going to note. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, is the end of an extremely long story about the character Ethan Hunt. This film essentially ramps up the stakes with a very, what I would call a very modern antagonist, which is an AI system. And more or less the AI system decides like, hey, let's clean up this mess on the planet, right? Let's wipe out these enemies of humanity. And it's just like, oh, you're trying to like murder people as a computer system. This is dangerous. Because the scale that it's trying to do it at is just like nuclear warfare, basically. Just like let's let's clean the slate. Because humanity's trash and they don't deserve to live, and we're going to use AI to fabricate events that are happening in the real world and kind of create social dissension. And we're going to actually hack into governmental systems and launch nukes at other countries to start a nuclear holocaust. And Ethan Hunt essentially is tasked with stopping the man who has the closest relationship, which is a crazy thing to say, but the closest relationship with this AI system, who has been his essentially arch nemesis for the majority of the Mission Impossible series. Absolutely amazing conclusion to the story, where he essentially has to risk a lot in order to protect people that he cares about. There is a death in the film of an extremely prominent character in the Mission Impossible series, which has happened before, right? We've had close friends to Ethan Hunt lose their lives in the storyline. That's kind of how Gabriel kind of achieves his level of notoriety, because he's like, oh, you're close to this young lady, Ethan. I guess I will kill them in front of you and make you resent me even more. It's like a psychopathic villain. It was a delight. I really did enjoy The Final Reckoning, and I feel like it's a really great wrap up to an amazing film series. And I say amazing because when I think of action films, sometimes one thing that they're lacking in is really good story. Um, Looking at you, The Expendables. One thing that a lot of action films lack is a really good story, and I feel like Mission Impossible has not lacked a good story. From every single film that I've seen in Mission Impossible, we really had a consistent cast of characters, opposed to really big moments, and it's felt phenomenal. This was an amazing conclusion to that storyline. So I cannot recommend enough. My top 3 for a reason. Please, please, please watch Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. It's an amazing film. My number 2 is not a conclusion, but it is the first part of a conclusion. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, to me, was one of the most impressive anime films that released this year. I did not know what to expect walking into it because I haven't read the manga. And so I was pleasantly surprised by kind of how we got to see Tanjiro achieve his next level of evolution by going through an extremely challenging situation and circumstance. Um, and you know, Rengoku was a character that when you watched a Mugen Train, you drew an affinity towards. Um, in this film, we see the antagonist that brutally murdered Rengoku actually have to answer for his crimes, so to speak. But we also got a bit of backstory about him, right? We got to understand a little bit more of his motivations, a bit of his logic, and a bit of his rationale, and it really gave us an amazing conclusion to his arc, while also giving Tanjiro a great way to evolve and kind of go to the next level. Um, it was an amazing story, and we can't downplay how cold it was to finally see our boy step up. I'm trying to recall his name. He's the Lightning.
Oh, Zenitsu.
Zenitsu, bruh. I So okay, so if you've been watching Demon Slayer, you in your mind you may feel like this is just an annoying character. He's super whiny. He's by nature, by design, he was designed to be irritating to watch and to deal with. He almost felt like a bit of comic relief for the story, but he receives a letter towards the end of the previous season, and his whole mode changes. He goes from this like lighthearted, oh my gosh, I love Nezuko. I love every single girl that I come in contact with. I'm a major flirt. I'm weird. I hate fighting. It stresses me out. I can only fight when I'm sleeping. Into like, nah, like I'm with all the smoke. And I can genuinely say, and in this particular arc, Zenitsu kind of steps up in a way that we've never seen him step up, because he lost someone dear to him, and it was the fault of someone else who was dear to him. And he had to reconcile with that internally and then handle it in the Infinity Castle. And he did so by essentially developing a brand new original technique and then clapping his op with it. And it was literally a work of art. Beautifully animated. All elements of this movie were exceptional. I can't recommend Demon Slayer enough as a series, but if you have not seen Infinity Castle yet, you must absolutely see Infinity Castle. Absolutely incredible film. And here we are.
Final countdown.
My number 1.
Right.
Wow. Wow. This is also a conclusion, although this is a season of a TV show that has been aired now for a decade. A little show known as My Hero Academia. And I think as a fan of superheroes and villains and kind of the storylines of like traditional hero trajectory, it was so interesting to see an anime write a story about kids that want to grow up and be heroes. And we've seen this in American animation. Like I think of shows like Teen Titans or Young Justice, which are all about kids growing up in a superhero society that want to become heroes in their own right, right? I feel like the angle that My Hero Academia took was amazing. Yes, these kids want to grow up and be heroes. There's this organization called the League of Villains that are fighting against them. But the League of Villains have an agenda that we're not 100% clear on yet. They just need to kind of be blocking these heroes at every step of the way. There's someone that's portraying the hero's location, like who's doing this. And they added in all these really interesting elements from season to season to season to season. And the final season culminated in this grandiose fight with absolutely incredible animation. Got some of the highest ratings on Metacritic for each episode this season, where we finally see these kids earn their keep against villains that have been building up to this climax for an insanely long time. And both Deku and Bakugo fighting characters like Shigaraki and All for One and even All Might, right? Kind of having their big moments in this final climactic arc was an absolute tour de force in anime. I know that some people have very strong feelings about how Deku's story concludes. Speaking for myself personally as a fan who's watched the series from its inception, it all adds up. Because when we first see Deku as a kid in elementary school, the thing that he valued most was his notebook, his knowledge, and his admiration for hero culture. And so at the conclusion of the story, before we get to the epilogue, Deku's story seems to conclude as a person that wants to pass on that knowledge to the next generation in a very similar way that All Might and all the predecessors of One for All passed on their power to the next generation, era after era after era, in order to protect this hero society as a whole. Deku feels like what he has to offer at that stage is his knowledge and his passion uh, for kind of raising the youth up to become the next generation of heroes. And he does so in an exceptional way. And then he ends up still being able to have his heroic moment in the sun. Because in the epilogue, we finally see that all of his classmates pool their resources and their love for Deku together to give him tools to essentially allow him to be able to continue to operate as a hero. And I thought that was a beautiful conclusion of how his power is his connection to the people that he cares about. And even when he has lost the power that he inherited from All Might, he still has the people that love him that are able to enable him and empower him to continue to do what he loves. I could not be more impressed with what My Hero Academia was and what it became, and even the storyline, and even how the League of Villains story concluded. An exceptional season with an exceptional ending to an exceptional series. I have to give my number one to the final season of My Hero Academia.
All right, I believe you know what. Even as a little bit of My Hero hater, the last season, season fire. What can I say?
Yeah, it's fire, man.
I still need to watch it. I've been holding it off for a bit, but now that's over. I'll see if I can binge it.
All right. So we will do a little bit of we're going to look back just a little bit on the various things we have rated over the time, and I'm going to give from starting from bottom to top all of our ratings over the past year of podcasting.
Okay.
All right. If you had to guess, what do you think is our lowest rated episode?
The Iron Giant.
Nah, it can't be.
I was gonna say that.
I know it's not All Star anymore. There was something. Oh, Singham.
Oh, our lowest
No.
rated episode, as in like as a group we rated this.
Yes.
Okay, the lowest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, man. I still think it's Iron Giant.
All right. So actually, lowest rating is Cloverfield.
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield has a 3.2.
3.2 is brutal. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Above that, we have Godzilla King of the Monsters, a 3.7. Singham with a 3.8. Iron Giant with a 3.8, 3.85. All-Star Superman with a 3.9, still egregious. Fantastic Four for 3.9. JJK 0 for the first 4. Speed Racer for 4. Marvel Civil War for 4.4. Also egregious. Smiling Friends for 4.4. Avengers for 4.4. Akira for 4.5. Godzilla -1 with a 4.5. Your Name with a 4.5. We're entering the top 7. Saiyan Saga for 4.7. Neja 2 for 4.7. Absolute Batman for 4.8. Creed for 4.8. Superman 2025 for 4.8. And tied, but I would say slightly, maybe I think one poll is slightly above, is Across the Spider-Verse and Gurren Lagann with 4.9. And so far, our number one on this list is Gurren Lagann with a 4.9.
All right.
So that is our current ranking. Well, we're gonna see, how things progress. Now, next season, just to let our viewers know, or listeners know, we will be taking a small break from full reviews. Now, this does not mean we're going anywhere. We're watching. There's plenty of small videos and side content and other things planned ahead. And our main thing that we're going to plan for January, in celebration of the grand Hollywood tradition of pushing the worst Drek imaginable to theaters in January, we will be analyzing some really atrocious pieces of media. All right, so we've hit the peak of fiction. Now we are going to the depths of fiction and reaching our hands into the trash barrel and seeing what we pull up. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we're gonna have some some smaller videos and some smaller analysis as planned. And when we enter season 2, we will change up the review system just a little bit, but we will we'll see when we get there. Now, before we conclude, everybody's just state what are you looking forward to the most in 2026?
Can I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
I'll jump in. So, Culling Game, JJK. I'm looking forward to. I'm very excited for. Free Run, Beyond the Journey's End. Season 2 is coming in 2026. I'm really excited for that. And one of my favorite top animes of all time is getting a 20th anniversary remake. I just want to give it a round of applause. Really,
undeserved.
Really well
Undeserved.
Here, I think it's
could have allocated those resources to somewhere else.
Tequila Hitman Reborn is gonna get a remake for its 20-year anniversary, and it is. As a fan of the series, I feel like a lot of people didn't recognize it for what it really is, for the quality and the exceptional piece of artistry that is Reborn.
It's exceptional.
And now it's finally getting its just desserts with a remake. And I'm excited for this too. I'm hoping that they complete the story, because the original anime kind of ended before the story was able to complete. I'm hoping we get the full story this time. I'm incredibly excited. Good things to come in 2026.
What we are going to have a on pod discussion, me and you, We have to hash out Hitman Reborn.
Yeah,
For
let's
real.
do it. I'm with it.
This has been an ongoing debate between me and Gray for many years. I think it's he thinks it's peak. I think it's trash.
Yeah.
So we have to litigate that later. I'm looking forward to two main things, right? One just got announced. Ace Combat 8. I think Wings of Thebe?
Yeah.
Whew, Ace Combat is a great series, right? I got into it, of course, with 7, but it is just like it's a real anime kind of story with like great side characters, villains, hype moments, and aura, and it's all from planes. It's just the best pilots. It's a world where actually 90% of the military is planes. We've invested everything into planes and dogfighting. So it's a great series. I can't wait to see 8. It looks fantastic. We're getting like full cutscenes. I'm here for it. And of course, which I think is on another person's list, Steel Ball Run. It's coming out. And I'm so excited. The anime looks great. It's gonna be fantastic. It just might be episodic instead of like a huge batch release. And watch out, maybe just maybe we'll get to reviewing the other half of Steel Ball Run. Just maybe.
Like that'll ever happen.
That'll happen, man. It's not like I stopped reading a few weeks ago.
You never really know,
Never really know.
You never really know. But yeah, those are my 2 picks.
Yeah, and
good one.
I could hop right in, I'm also looking forward to Steel Ball Run. I am the other person who's hyped, big JoJo fan here, read the manga, and bro, I can't wait to see I can't wait to see the greatest race in anime history. I'm also looking forward to Invincible season 4, baby. Oh yeah, that's gonna be peak. That's gonna be I'm there day one, Amazon Prime. You feel me? It can only get better for my boy Mark, right? Right?
Way better.
Anyway, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. But last and not least, the biggest thing I'm most hyped about is my boy Avatar A getting his own movie. Yes, sir. No live action, no animation. A fully adult with his friends, also adult. Let's get it. We're gonna see Prime Aang in action. It's gonna be like watching 2017 Warriors, bro. I for one cannot wait. It's
what if for dramatic tension Aang sells like super hard.
I'm sorry. What do you say? What do you say?
I said, what if for dramatic tension Aang sells?
But sorry, you cut it out.
Like
anyway,
they have him.
You cut it out. Anyway, my boy about to show why he the real, why he the best Avatar of all time. He top 2 and he ate 2. You feel me? Arguably with Kyoshi, right. But I'll get. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I feel you. My big top 2 right now is the Lego Batman Legacy video game. I love that video game as a kid. Loved Lego Batman as a kid, so I'm coming back as a kid just to play Lego Batman on my PS5. Yay for that! A lot of movies, but one of them I specifically like to finally see is the Coyote versus Acme movie that was once canceled, and everybody was really, really trying to get that movie back on to a release date, and it finally did because of the success of the day the Earth blew up Looney Tunes movie. So I can't wait to see that. I just can't wait.
Pretty good. So we enjoyed 2025 so far. We're looking forward to 2026, and we're looking forward to seeing everybody in the new year. May it be may your crops be bountiful. Your harvest be plenty, or all that good stuff. Everybody, it's been a great time, and we're so glad to have y'all.
Thanks for being here.
We just put this thing together. We've gotten a little better every week, and we look forward to seeing where we can climb next year.
Yeah, I appreciate all of you. You know, I mean, it's been a journey. You know, we're gonna be back bigger and better next year. Can't wait for you all to witness the growth that we get to the peak.
I just want to take a moment to thank all of our fans, all of our supporters, and all of our haters. You are all essential to our success. We are grateful
Yes.
for both the love and the malice. They allow us.
'Cause remember, we're gonna, in the words of the great Eric Adams, you know, our haters are gonna be our waiters at the table of success.
It's that simple, baby. That simple. 'Cause you know what? We're peak of fiction. We climb, baby. Like, no matter what you do, you're just a stepping stone for our ascension. And if you're here to support us and push us from behind, we appreciate that too. Like, it's all helpful. Even the legitimate critiques, we appreciate those too. They definitely help us to find new ways to refine what we do. Because we're excited to build, man. Like this is monumental for us. So thank y'all so much. We appreciate everything.
Okay.
Thank you guys for being part of this. We'll grow better and be better. Yeah, hopefully we're better than before.
Yeah, next year we're all gonna be speaking Chinese. Okay, so get excited.
Oh shucks! I dropped my Mandarin.
But all right. Have a great time, everybody. Well, see you next year.
See you guys.
See ya.
See you.
Bye.
Good night.
All right.